Look at us doing another episode in a timely fashion. I'm very proud of me. I'm just saying, radio definitely is a lot easier because you could just pull up and it is what it is. I know that so many people feel like it's better to see somebody's face and their facial expressions, but legit just shared something today about how I be trying to not make these faces when folks are talking to me. Let me tell you, there are plenty of exes out there who would say that the faces I make, they can't stand because I usually give them the confused, what? Like when we have an argument, 9 times out of 10, because friend, I am right. You know I'm right. I know I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, because I'm not one to just like pick fights with people. I'm not one to like, tell you about yourself or micromanage and look at every single thing you do and point out what you could do better. Yeah, I'm not for that. So if I say something, this is the way I pretty much feel. If I say something, it's because you have had plenty of time to show that this is what's happening, this is what's going on, this is the way it is. And I'm not here for it. So I am speaking up, and usually it's because whatever it is that you're doing, friend, you should probably stop doing. It's not good for you. I'm just saying. Sounded like mama right there. Listen, and I have hung around very, very interesting people. So you would think that maybe I'm talking about like hanging out too late or whatever and having a wild lifestyle. Yes, that is included. Surprise, surprise. The DJ is like, dude, you can't go out every night. You can't keep chasing the dragon all the time. The dragon gone, man. You ain't gonna find him. Listen, what do I say? I know some felons. I know some PhDs. Hang out with all in between because you can learn from everybody. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you. Anyways, speaking of learning from everybody, man, oh man, what I want to talk about on this week's conversation with each other. So this whole dating, no dating, there's a lot more females kind of jumping on the bandwagon saying, no, thank you. Which, let's dive into that. Because a lot of people think I do. That's what I'm saying. Sandra, do you have a man? You sure do be doing a lot. Oh man, funny, the nerd in me, and we'll get into all of that good stuff coming up. And I'll reference to some of the things that I've seen on the internet this past week or so, and we'll chop them up, right? Shameless self-promotion there. Hey, don't forget that Sis is a DJ. Travel to play and go all over the place to manifest the beauty and have some fun with you in your atmosphere. Just saying. Yes, ma'am. SanjaDenise.com. SonjaDenYse.com. Anyways, so I saw a couple of things on the internet, and first things first, let me tell you what really happened, okay? Kicking it off, I was like, I got my little handy dandy notebook, and I'm just saying, get older, mature, never get old. So Care Bears, I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. So my handy dandy notebook, in which I write things down, ideas, things that people say that I'm like, you know what? I ought to dive into that, right? As a topic, whatever, whatnot. What had happened is this. Somebody had asked me in a group chat, and it was another female, right? And she said, "You don't have a man, do you?" And I was just like, what? Right? At first I was just like, okay, now did she mean that? Because why are you asking me that? And before I got the chance to like react in an offense way, because I was like, I'm dating, I'm doing my thing, I got my don't worry about a bitch. That's what I really wanted to say, okay? Like the old episodes or all the shows where they could cut to, look at the camera and, you know what I'm saying, be like, you know what I mean? Is how I felt in that moment. But instead, I was just kind of like, I said, I'll do my thing, you know? Why? And she was like, because you sure do a lot. Now, wait a second here. Now, was that like reverse relationship discrimination? Is that what I would call that? What is that? Because that came from a lady. Now, my grandma, okay, God rest her soul, out there playing in the light. No, she having a good time. Before she left, she was like, listen, I'm sorry I was asking you all that craziness about getting married and telling you that you needed to settle down. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I love what you were doing. You know, and you're happy and that's all that matters, and live your life, right? Now, do not get a sis wrong. I really appreciated my grandma saying that to me because I was feeling like some kind of way about myself that I did not find Mr. Right. I've had opportunities now. I'm sure many of ladies have been there, right? Where you've had opportunities that you could have settled down. You could have got married. You could have done the thing, but for one reason or another, you went left, things went right. You know what I'm saying? Or you was a runaway bride, whatever it may be, right? But I have sometimes sit there and go, the other day, matter of fact, it's the whole reason why we talking about all of this. Sitting there having the conversation with my daughter, I was like, yo, there are a couple of times in life that I literally can remember and can feel and felt it then. The fork in the road that was about to happen, the decision that I was about to make was going to change things for myself, right? And one of them was when I decided to get out of the line when I was joining the Navy after I took the ASVAB, after I took the physical. For those of you in the military, you know what I'm talking about. The whole thing. Yo, I did the whole thing. Right? Was going to go into communication. So at least that part is kind of somewhat the same. And they are the ones who told me that I could go into radio, right? Like they were like, oh, the communications, you could do like the radio operations for like the ships or whatever. And then we have our broadcast. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Right? But at the last minute in the line to sign the whole thing, something told me. And I ended up jumping out of line. I did not join the Navy. And I've kind of regretted that because let me tell you something. Honestly, I was joining the military because I knew that the relationship that I was in was no good and wasn't really going to go anywhere. But I didn't know what else to do because I felt like I had messed up because I was like, F school, whoop to whoop. I'm going to do this on my own. You know what I'm saying? I've been like getting downloads since I was, you know, really a kid. So I've always kind of like followed what was inside my heart, you know, and I was like, I don't know if I made the right choice. And then another time I was in Kansas after my father passed and I was dating this Learjet engineer. And honey child, let me tell you something. He and I were cool, right? Like we were cool, but it wasn't like sparks, but we were cool. And it was like in my mind, I was like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to be in. You know, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? You know, we get down. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's not making my teeth sweat, you know, but it's a good situation. He comes from a good family. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my whole like thought. And I actually really did fall for this guy, but I wanted my family to be together. Like I felt like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm the first one in my family that I'm not with my child's father. And that wasn't even really true. Yeah. But anyways, so I messed that up to get back with my daughter's father. And I regretted it so bad. You know what I'm saying? From the minute I did, it, right? But I also kind of felt like I was in an abusive situation. So I kind of felt like he found me again. So let me try to just go and deal with this until I turned into enough And, the late, great Tina Turner. And I was like, enough is enough. It's going to be me or you. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. And I chose myself, right? And have stayed away from situations like that. Only one. Exactly. Your throat was like, remember that one dude? Yeah. Only one other time I met somebody that I kind of saw some red flags, but I was like, nah. And I was in my actress days in New York. And so it was like, I needed a connection of somewhere to stay, because as an entertainer in the city, will let you know when you are starting out, until you actually get some gigs, you are a professional auditioner. And I did not know that. I was coming from radio, and I just knew I was just going, I was just going to get something, which I did. I got a couple of things, and I thought that was just going to like shoot me to stardom, and here we go. You know what I'm saying? That is not what happened. But it's all good, because I had a really, really great time. Oh yeah, by the way, my first thing, Patrice O'Neal, one of the comic greats, one of the legends, rest in peace, gave me my first cosign, bitch you funny and bitch you cute. Actually, he said you were the sexiest one, your best looking one of the contestants. Granted, it was, not that much of a contest, and one of the girls I brought with me. But I'm still going to take it. Hello. It's on the camel toe edition, I think, the Patrice O'Neal coming soon. But yeah, so I just knew, girl, I was like, what? My first thing, I'm working with Patrice O'Neal, and then Dante Nero was there. And then when I got cast as an extra into Fighting, and him and Terrence Howard came outside, and Dante was like, Lisa Evans. And I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I just knew. Bitch, no, that's, yeah, I didn't have that story. But anyway, long story short, all of those situations put me in a place where all of those situations, made me realize that sometimes when I am hooking up or messing with a guy, or like in a relationship, I tend to not go after my dreams as much as I ought to, right? And I don't necessarily have the best picker. So I have kind of decided that I was going to work on myself, do me, because I figure, listen, every relationship that I actually got in, deep down inside, I knew, this ain't it, right? Like, I was just like, because I feel like the relationship, that one, not only is he financially secure and mentally secure and in that place, so am I. You know what I'm saying? And so I was kind of like, bitch, you are nowhere near where the Sanja that you like in your mind that you are. So not that it's a bad thing, right? But I just knew it was none of those. So I kept on pushing on. But for this chick to ask me that shit, no, I'm just playing. But that is what started these next set of examples that I wanted to bring up to you about this whole not dating, creativity being on its peak. Or I wouldn't say not dating, because, yeah. It's like, that's all we're going to say about that. Right? But not being in that, like, every single day, suck your face, you know what I'm saying, type of a situation. Because I will be like that. Do not get it twisted. If geography was like different, or when I am with, messing with somebody who is like nearby, it's a problem. It's a freaking problem. Okay. Yeah. But anyways, Drew Barrymore, who we all know and love, right? And also Sharon Stone were also, I guess Sharon was on her show. I saw this clip of them talking about not dating, right? And how just like they're tired of these dudes, and how they're always playing games, and they're full of shit and whoop de whoop. And I just like, wow, okay. So it's like, I can't remember, is that CB4 thing, right? that the CD for, and I have to look it up on, I can't look it up on TikTok because I'm using my phone to record. But anyways, the whole situation where you're leaving men alone, but not for those reasons, right? Like just because of do your own thing, girl, type deal. And so I was like, okay, right. And I also remember seeing an article, a whole thing about A$AP Rocky and how he says that he is not hiring any kind of nanny for him and Riri's babies because he didn't wait until 35 to have no family so that some other person could raise them. And I said, well, hats off to you, sir. I saw some guy, I think it's a Dad's Got Bars or something like that on the internet, where he's rapping his whole song to his daughter about, you know, his toenails being painted, and some idiot basically said something about, you know, oh, this is that, you know, sissy masculinity. And he came for him with the bars. And I was like, I saw the video of him rapping to his wife, and I said, hello, sir. And not that we all want to believe the things that we see on the internet, okay? Right? But I do have a lot of guy friends, and I know some really great guys out there. So I know that there's great guys out there, and they do exist. I know for most of us, we do feel that they are already taken, and we're just out here floating in the wind, right? But I am kind of curious, you know, and maybe you can slide in my DMs, ladies, or we could talk about it later on. But I am very curious. Are most of us, because I do feel like there's a lot of ladies that are actually single, but everybody got a boo thing, right? Everybody got somebody that they, you know what I'm saying? But people are just not in serious relationships anymore. Are we doing this because we are trying to get ourselves right and we're going to manifest the right guy? Or have we given up on love? Because friends, have not given up on love. Okay. And although I have and I have many episodes and many people will tell you that I have said time and time again, a man ain't good for nothing but, okay. I am in a new place, and I at least believe that there are some good guys out there. Are the majority of them? No. Because I also saw this video of this man, and I don't know if he was just doing this for likes, because these days it's hard to tell if people are even being genuine or if they're just saying things for the gram, for the TikTok, for the whatever they're on, right? He said that if he and his wife were in a situation, he was asked this, okay, on a guy's podcast, and I'm sorry to say that it was a brother, and yeah, they not like us. They asked him, if your wife, okay, and you guys are in a situation and you guys had to run, take off, if she fell, would you go back for her? And like your life was on the line. Do you know this man said no? And they was like, what? They was like, clearly he did not understand the question. They asked him again. Bruh said, did you hear what I said? My life is on the line if two guys come up shooting and we take off running. If my wife, he clearly and was like, understand me, friend, my wife falls, she shit out of luck. Well, I gotta keep on going because what? They just gonna get us both? Sir, you are the reason as to why these women are feeling the way they are. And I am trying, you know, because I've known guys that have committed suicide and taken, you know, unalive themselves because of emotional issues. So, and I have a lot of guy friends that I really, you know, think are fucking awesome, right? And so I have a brother, you know, so therefore I am like, you know, team go guy. I have been raped, I have been abused, I have been used, I have been lied on by men. I have never really been able to trust a man. But yet I still believe, for those of you who just said, fuck this bitch. For those of you who just totally was like, yeah, listen, call it Pollyanna. I believe that hurt people. And I believe that people do things because they know not what they do. If you know now what you are doing and the effect you are having on people and you continue to do what you do, well, your karma's coming for you, right? Because I do believe that this place is vibration, and that what you put out, friend, you are going to eventually get back. Or if you already are getting it back by needing to drink every night and, can't get through the day type situation. You know what I'm saying? Right? Or just being mean, right? Or having, not being able to sleep, or always having like weird, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like you be getting got, right? In all kinds of ways. Be having peace in your life, sleeping well, having good skin because you unbothered and you not trying to be bothering nobody is a beautiful thing. So ladies, the whole point of this rant is for me to say that I hope that what we do now, right, now that we know better, right, there is, I think, a little bit of a turn with this toxic masculinity happening, like a little bit, like with the girl dads, and, again, whether they're doing it for the gram or if they're doing it, hopefully for real. I think that we have to just manifest the man that we want, girl. All right. I think that we have to become and be the loving, beautiful person that would be receptive to receiving the love, right? And I am talking to myself because let me tell you something, girl. I am so judgy wudgy on how I meet a dude. I wish you would just come up to me and talk to me in a store, just out in an outing. I'd be like, ooh, you a hoe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? I'm not going to front the people that I am still involved with at this moment. It is because I felt that the universe lined us up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there was things that I had heard and did because of prompts. And so therefore, and then met, you know what I'm saying? So therefore I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I am judgy wudgy. Okay. But I am trying. And if I'm going to try and believe that if we can manifest our careers and manifest our lives and hell, manifest our hair growing, you know what I'm saying? Then we should be able to manifest ourselves being able to receive and to give the love that we actually desire. And until then, we gon' do our thing. You know what I'm saying? Have some fun. I think Cher said it great, right? Boyfriends are awesome. Have boyfriends, have fun. You don't necessarily need to end every not perfect or not the one relationship, because life would be very boring. You know what I'm saying? Right? And how else are you going to find the one if you're not out there? Right? Okay. So that's our 2 cents on that. We're not going to swear off men. I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should. I think that we just need to figure out how to get over this craziness. Understand that most of these guys have had very toxic, horrible upbringings where society told them that it was okay to be a doofus, dumbass, douchebag, fucking asshole. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. and know that a lot of them are aiming to change. A lot of them have recognized that some of the things that they were taught and to believe are douchebag, asshole. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Ways of thinking. And so to those guys, we salute you. Oh, that wasn't a salute. They're nerding me. It's coming up next. Dun, 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 dun. Nerded me. He's back. Oh, I did miss doing this segment and the little Wonder Woman spin. Yes, friends. The lashes, darling. The lashes, darling. So, what I wanted to talk about today, I'm going to show you a little clip. Okay, friends, so did you know that was completely AI? Yeah, friends, we're coming to that day where your discernment is going to need to be on fuego, all right? Okay, because listen, this is what's happening. We last week talked about, we were talking about how the robots were starting to emote. I showed you a couple of clips, a couple of the different robots that were out there, Mika, some of the other ones, Sophia. And, you know, the AI, when you hear about the intentions for the paraplegics in the world, for people who, you know, who are alone, you know, and heck, even for the elderly who are not being cared for properly in some of these nursing homes. I mean, you go, wow, you know, this could really be a great technology. But at the same time, it can be a little dangerous. There is the woman who married the first AI on my radio show. We had this segment called the GTFO award, right? So I'm going to have to go and get that, show you that right here. She married her hologram, okay? So, I mean, if you're lonely and I mean, so here's the thing. I don't want to, especially because, you know, Downtown Milford just kind of shared our podcast. The reality of it is that we say like we're totally against the whole like robot thing situation, right? But there's a whole industry that has become accepted. And ladies, I don't think that your dude should be in control of your big, you know what I'm saying? So I think that the industry is very well needed, but you can't be against robots doing things if we are, right? Like, oh my gosh. And I had this realization the other day and I'm like, that is not even how I feel. I feel like we need to be doing human things, right? Like being creative, but if the robots are trying to be creative, what the heck are we supposed to be doing? So I'm not in agreement with AI and robots doing marketing videos and making movies and whatnot. Let us human beings be creative and let us do that and have the robots do the jobs people don't want to do and they don't do correctly in the first dang old place. Like the dang restrooms when you go to convenience stores, gas stations, fast food joints. I'm just saying, right? You know, get the robots, make robots to do things that humans don't want to do. Leave the creative jobs for the humans. Just saying, because I don't understand what the heck that video was made for unless it was to provide it looked like a promotional video to me, which would be taking work out of some cute 20-year-old who's trying to make it in the entertainment industry, who doesn't know yet that she's in for a long, wonderful, fun run, right? Right. Okay, so I'm going to get on out of here because this jacket is making me hot. So you can see we had birthdays. The birthday celebrations are done in the house for a while until in the house anyway. And we've got other family members that've got birthdays in the fall and the winter, but it's been a great summer birthday season. We've been having a great time. I hope you've been enjoying yourself as well. We got another month or so of like summer, month and a half, something like that. I always say summer don't end till September 21st, honey. Okay, so it could just stay warm. And hopefully it's going to be nice and beautiful all the way up through October, right? Well, actually, can we make it through the rest of the year? Appreciate it. Find something that will spark a little bit of joy in you and go do it. All right, I'm going to check on out of here. Till next time. Listen, there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that we didn't even get to talk about. Looks like we'll have to save it for next week.